In a village in West Bengal, India, the Dokra metal casters carry on a tradition which has survived for thousands of years. The original Dokra people were nomads, wandering the northern regions of India, mending pots and tools, and casting small religious icons in the villages through which they passed. In the 20th century, with an increasing amount of land being used for agriculture and technology providing cheap, mass-produced goods, this way of life was no longer possible. In the 1960s, a cooperative was established to ensure the survival of this craft by making it financially and commercially viable. The man responsible for setting up the cooperative is the sculptor, Mr. Sen.
First is the investment, and it is a Cire Perdue, lost process. And it is very simple and ancient technique that they use to achieve the beautiful results that you must have seen on the Dokra product.
These results are also a product of a community effort, where each villager not only plays a part in the work process, but also in the financial process. With the help of the Craft Council of West Bengal, Mr. Sen was able to secure government sponsorship for the cooperative, whereby it contributed 10 rupees to every villager's one. Then it was necessary to establish a market. This was done through a succession of exhibitions, which was so successful that they have since exhibited in Europe and North America. However, it was their first exhibition which determined their future success.
From that exhibition, we found out which items can be sold better, are more attractive for the urban population. Because there is a cooperative qualitative change, because formerly they are producing ritual objects for the villagers or utility objects for the villagers. Now they are going to get into a market where the things will be bought as kind of art objects, as a decorative object.
Although the lost wax process of metal casting is well known to many sculptors, the Dokhra's method of metal casting is unique for several reasons. The whole process of melting the brass and the wax occurs in a single furnace within a single encasement. That is, the crucible which contains the metal is actually joined to the mold. Nor do the Dokra workers use risers, which serve as an exit for gases such as steam and wax vapors. The only feeding system for the metal is a single screw which connects the model to the crucible. Finally, the investment is made from sand, clay and cow dung, rather than refractory materials such as silica flour or brick dust. To make the core, dry clay and sand are collected and mixed together in a proportion of 3 parts clay to 1 part sand. The clay is sieved before mixing it with the sand to remove any small stones or foreign matter. Producing the sculptures is a collective process and everyone in the village contributes. This way, each person can be working on a different part of the process at the same time. The sand and the sifted clay are then kneaded together into a pliable dough-like consistency from which a very basic shape is produced known as the core. The figure being sculpted here will be a warrior figure 5 inches high. But many of the sculptures, such as the popular animals and religious icons, are as much as 12 inches high. Much of the Dokras' work also reflects their history and mythology. The so-called wax which the Dokra workers use to create the finer detail around the core isn't wax at all, but a mixture of pitch and a resin known as duna, which comes from the sal tree. In the past, mustard seed oil was used in place of pitch, but over recent years this has become too expensive. These two materials are melted together in a proportion of 1 part pitch to 2 parts duna. When the wax mixture has liquefied, it is strained through a cloth into clean water to cool.